Adrian Walker had always thought confidence was something people were born with, a natural thing that lived in some people's bones but somehow skipped him. He was the type who stood on the edge of decisions and waited too long. Opportunities passed him. Conversations ended before they began. And every what-if turned into another quiet regret he carried around like invisible weight. He didn't hate his life. He just hated how often he froze in it. His present problem was becoming unbearably clear. He wasn't moving forward because he couldn't make himself act when it mattered. He replayed scenarios in his head. The job interview he canceled, the gym membership he never activated, the girl he never approached, the ideas he never started. Every time action demanded courage, fear won. And with every surrender, his self-respect slipped further away. Adrian's backstory had written this pattern long ago. Growing up, he was praised for being careful, smart, thoughtful. But those compliments slowly taught him something dangerous. He believed that acting only when conditions were perfect was the right way to live. He avoided risk so well that he didn't notice life was passing him by. As an adult, this habit turned into paralysis. He waited for confidence before acting, not knowing confidence is something you build by acting. The breakdown wasn't dramatic. It came on a random Thursday evening. Adrian was sitting alone in his car outside a community event he'd promised himself he would attend. He had practiced what to say, rehearsed small talk, even dressed better than usual. Yet he sat frozen, staring at the entrance for 20 minutes. The longer he waited, the heavier the fear grew. Eventually, he turned the key and drove home in silence, feeling like he had failed himself in a way he could no longer ignore. The next day, still embarrassed by how he abandoned himself, Adrian visited Ms. Rowan, an older family friend known for her calm wisdom. He didn't explain the whole story, he didn't have to. She noticed the defeat in his posture, the quietness in his voice, the hesitation in his eyes. "What stopped you?" she asked gently. "I don't know," he whispered. "I wanted to go inside, I really did. I just couldn't." Ms. Rowan nodded, not judging. "You think you need courage before you act?" she said softly. "But courage doesn't come first. Action does. Courage follows." Adrian looked confused. She leaned forward and said something that stopped him in his tracks. "Have you ever heard of Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule?" She learned that if you don't act within 5 seconds of deciding to do something, your brain will kill the idea. You only get 5 seconds before fear takes over. Adrian had never heard that before. She changed her life by counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and moving before her fear caught her. It's not magic, it's physics. Action breaks hesitation. The insight hit him harder than he expected. 5 seconds? He had lived years stuck in moments shorter than that. The next morning, he tried it. His alarm went off at 6:30. Usually he'd lie there, scrolling on his phone until the day felt wasted. But this time, he whispered, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. His body moved before his doubt did. He stood up. It felt strange but empowering, like he had hijacked his own hesitation. His first action step was small. Take a walk around the block. No pressure, no perfection. Just movement. And it worked. The second day, he used the 5-second countdown to send an email he'd been avoiding. The third day, he used it to clean his apartment for 15 minutes. The fourth, to start a task he'd been postponing for 2 months. Every time he counted down, the fear didn't disappear, but it didn't get to decide. The turning point came a week later. Adrian stood outside another event. Same building, same fear creeping in, same hesitation rising in his chest. But this time, before his doubt could whisper all the reasons to run, he closed his eyes and breathed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. His hand reached for the door handle before his brain could drag him back. The moment he stepped through the door, something shifted. Not a huge change, not a dramatic transformation, just a quiet realization. He had finally shown up for himself. Inside, he wasn't the most confident. He wasn't the most social. But he stayed. He talked to 2 people. He didn't run. And when he walked back to his car later, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Pride. Real-life transformations often begin this way. Mel Robbins didn't rebuild her life through sudden confidence. She rebuilt it by interrupting hesitation with action, 5 seconds at a time. Adrian followed the same principle in his own quiet, human way. The life lesson became clear. Courage isn't a feeling. Courage is movement. You don't wait for confidence, you act your way into it, 5 seconds at a time. That night, as Adrian set his alarm for the next morning, he smiled softly to himself. He wasn't fearless. He didn't need to be. He just needed 5 seconds of honesty, 5 seconds of bravery, 5 seconds of choosing action over fear. And for the first time in a long time, he believed he could give himself that.